Good evening and welcome to the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals tonight. Brought to you in part by Jack Daniels, Coors, Pendleton Whiskey, Boot Barn, Cooper Tires, Ram Rodeo, Justin Boots, the American Paint Horse Association, Preefert, Classic Leather Designs, Crucian Rum, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, J.W. Brooks Hats, Wrangler, Montana Silversmiths, Seagram's Gin, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everybody. Wow, what a crowd. This is a record crowd here this evening. Welcome to National Finals tonight. Are you ready to have a good time with us here this evening? Yes. Did you enjoy the rodeo tonight? Yes. Look at all of these blue shirts in the audience. I'm loving that, and we're going to talk a lot more about that as we get going this evening. Great guests coming up for you this evening, so let's get things started and bring out at least one of my co-hosts, because back there nobody's even here yet. It's one of those nights, but this guy is here. Yesterday in Las Vegas was Donnie Gay Day. Tonight, it's Donnie Gay night. Donnie Gay is here, 8-time world champion bull rider.
All right. Yeah, it's bold in blue night tonight. I see you right
Look
there.
Look at everybody out there. I'm loving it.
Yeah, Joe B's on his way.
Joe Beaver is on his way.
They shut down Flamingo to one stinking lane and nobody got killed.
No wreck, no nothing.
Yet
tonight, huh?
There was more U-turns. I thought I was in San Diego again. People going through the palm trees and turning around. It was crazy.
Pretty wild out there tonight. Donnie, while we're waiting for Joe, let me tell you a little bit about our high techness here. We are going out live on the World Wide Web, and if you would like to call somebody and say, hey, you can tune in and watch us, or when you get home, if you want to see our archive of shows that we've put together, this is the address to do that. Wait a minute. Here's Joe Beaver right there.
Hold it. Go behind
grab
the
your
curtain
microphone there.
Wait till we get him mic'd up here.
Now, here's 8-time world champion Joe Beaver here this evening. Yeah.
You got a little 8X and a big 8X.
I forgot my blue shirt.
I knew it tonight.
You don't have any more.
I
Look.
couldn't. Hey, if you'd have left one of those, I wouldn't have had to go all the way back to the room.
Ran up, did a quick change, and he's here tonight. Joe, let me finish telling about the high-tech stuff, and we'll talk about bold enough to wear blue. Anyway, our address on the web is boydgaming.com/NFT if you would like to check us out on the World Wide Web. And during the course of the evening tonight, and we've had a lot of great questions come in, so even the folks clear back there in the back, we see you back there. If you have questions for any of our guests this evening, get on your phone and you can text those questions up at 702-LUCK-NFT. The numbers are 702-582-5638. 702-582-5638. It's a special night to be here, Joe Beaver.
It is.
It's a blue kickoff thing. Donnie's wearing white, but that's all right. Let's.
Hey, did you expect anything else? I mean, come on.
There's bold enough to wear blue and weak enough to wear white, and so.
Hey, he says he has blue underwear on, but I think you ought to prove it, don't y'all?
Gosh.
Well, I think he has to show us. Okay. Thanks, y'all, for being a part. My guys on the set, Dan's people up here, thanks a lot. About 10 years ago, we started a little thing called Tough Enough to Wear Pink. And it started the same way, me selling T-shirts for $20. It's time for another cause, we thought, so I picked diabetes. It affects a lot of people, a lot of our friends, a lot of our family. I didn't have any idea how many kids it affected until I started doing some research on it and educating my dumb ass a little bit on it, because trust me, we sometimes forget, and we live in a closed world, and as long as things are good for us, we forget about other people, and it's unbelievable for kids, 4 and 5 years old and stuff. So anyway, we started with the blue, bold enough to wear blue. The first night was at the Indian Finals, thanks to Richard Bowers, Donna. Ray Champ, all my guys, Frank, everybody at the Indian Finals. We had our first week. We raised about $11,000 for diabetes that week. So tonight, we're starting with the blue, and hopefully next year, we'll give a big check. And
You know, I'm really glad that you started with the blue deal. That's going to be a whole lot better. The pink deal always caused me a little bit of a problem.
yeah, you're going to feel better in blue, aren't you?
I really am.
But
yeah.
we wouldn't know that, would we, Dan?
No, we'll just have to take
We'll have
your
to
word
just
for
guess,
it. Yes.
and assume.
You know, whenever you were recognizing Richard Bowers and all the guys, from the INFR where you started the Bold Enough to Be Blue, the GAC telecast that's bringing you the National Finals Rodeo, it is paid for and sponsored by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. And
Those
the president
guys
of the
right
INFR, Richard Bowers, would you stand up? I mean, because without you, this would not have happened. Wouldn't be on TV. And there's a guy sitting right behind him. We had a great time doing the announcing at the INFR this past year. And the all-around champion, Native American, Joe Wilson. Stand up and tip your hat. All-around champ, bareback, saddle bronc, bull. This guy can do
He
it all.
does it all. Bulldog steers. He rides colts good. I don't know that yet because he hadn't picked mine up yet. But we're partners on one. Me and him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're partners, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him to know it's good partnership yet, but, Ray Champ said it's all right, so we're going to go with it.
Very good, very good. And in case when Joe said he started the Tough Enough to wear pink, now you see it on the NFL and every place else in that all of that started
It really
with Joe.
did. I mean, when we started, people really thought we were kind of crazy about doing it.
Well, he thinks that they were crazy. I mean, you ought to have a last name like Gay and have to wear pink.
Well,
It's heck.
it's just lucky for you it matches your eyes because, boy, it's...
Hey, it matches those glasses he wore for sure, huh? But we hope the blue deal turns out just as good, just as big. And if it does one of these days, hey, that's one more thing we give back. And if it doesn't, we tried.
We tried, and we're proud to be a part of it here, Joe. We appreciate that very much. Let's get to, we have a lot of things to do this evening. Plus, you see this guitar back here that we're going to be giving away a little bit later on. You see all those signatures. That's everybody from Faith Hill to the Oak Ridge Boys to, it's just a who's who of country music. We're going to give that away at the end of the show today. We hope that you have got yourselves registered back there for that as well.
I forgot to sign that. I got an 8-track.
All the great singers have
Hey,
signed that.
let me throw that out there. If anybody happens to have that 8-track tape, this got Boy Bob and the Vulture Culture and Donnie and them guys on it from the finals one year, I would pay dearly for that. I mean, because I had it when I was a kid. I can remember listening to it thinking, man, them guys are, they're singers and rodeo cowboys. Little did I know later, they're just rodeo cowboys.
I'm hurt.
Somebody's going to find that 8-track on that show Pickers somewhere. It's going to be in somebody's trunk somewhere. All right, in case you missed out on the telecast tonight on the rodeo, and Donnie and I today, we were at a fan fest for Extreme Bulls over at the Hard Rock Cafe, and they're this year on GAC, we're excited to say it's the best ratings that GAC has ever had with the National Finals Rodeo, and it's a big deal.
Doing really well.
It's a big deal. So in case you weren't watching the telecast tonight to see Joe and Donnie do that live, we put together a highlight tape so that you haven't missed a thing. So we're going to take a look at the winners, and it starts out with a lot of them, Donnie, in the bareback riding. Round number 8. Do it for us, guys.
All right, well, the bareback riding is going to get started. We're going to see Clint Cannon in the bareback riding. Feet over the shoulders the first jump out. These guys are so stinking sore right now, they can't hardly touch themselves, let alone ride a bucking horse. Clint Cannon, all these guys are 88.5 points. Look at what the judges are having to look at. Spurs, half the points for how well you ride, the other half for the degree of difficulty for the bucking horse. Clint Cannon, he is really having to bear down because, I can watch them walk down the hall and they can't hardly get down back to the locker room. Bobby Moat, here's a guy, said he was kind of a little off last night. He thought he was weakening a little bit. Comes back tonight, makes a really good bareback ride. Watch this. Long-legged, I was afraid they got him at the gate on the right side. Not so. Split the go-around, first, second, and third. Now, great finish, and that's what you do in the bareback riding, especially because the last thing the judges see, that is really big. But guess what? KC Fields, how much money? He's already won over $100,000 this week. He's going to have a trailer to take all that money back to Utah. But this guy is riding so good, drawing good. Things are going his way, too, Joe. Watch
He's
the
gonna have
mark
a new
out.
truck if he keeps it up.
I mean, his daddy, grandpa, they're up there in the grandstands. They're right on the first row, and where I'm standing whenever I get mic'd up, and I mean, they're jumping and kicking. They're right there. Look at that. I mean, it is so much fun to be in the rodeo family.
In the steer wrestling, Jason Miller is not going to let Luke have it easy. He comes back tonight. There's Jesse again, the bulldogging horse we talked about every night that won so much money on. Jason Miller is 3-9 tonight. He takes a step towards the gold buckle. Watch the difference. When he gets ready to get off, look at that horse's head down and him digging. That horse has got the guts of anything you've ever seen. He runs into the yellow buck and shoots every night. Big guys are on him. Jason Miller, 3-9. He gets the victory. Gold buckle till the end. In the team roping, this is one of our guys, Jake Long. Jake Long, Boyd David, man. He finally got to throw his rope again for money. One look is all he needed. Brady Trime has run his head into the brick wall 400 times this week, and it's never give. Finally, last night he changed a little bit. Tonight, he gets a little bit wider go at him, takes one extra swing. That means just 2 swings. That's all it is. But he gives Jake Long a look and watch him. As soon as he ropes, watch the steer's back feet come up. That helps you get the flag.
How did he do it?
He just kept hitting it. Kept hitting it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
You don't break the wall down till you go around.
Okay, now Jacobs Crawley, Texas A&M. Anybody? Any
You bet.
Texas A&M Aggie
You
fans in
bet.
the house? Okay, this guy's had heck all week long.
He has.
They gave him a free roll at the gate because the horse, whenever he reared out, posted him a little bit, little flying dismount. Guess what? We got a guy that invented the flying dismount. He's in the house tonight. I'll introduce him in a minute. Watch this. I mean, you know, they waived the mark-out rule, and then watch this horse jump and kick. That's why we call it the classic event of rodeo. Just reach, stick him, spur him. This guy's got a 4.0 at Texas A&M. He is an intelligent guy. I don't know why he's riding bucking horses.
That's just you, yeah. In the tie-down roping, my boy Scott Cormos finally got here and showed up. Watch this. Little guy, right? Big pin of calves. Guess what? Flanks good, catches that front leg, and fastest hands in the business. 2 wraps in the hui. Everybody else is throwing 1 wrap, trying to do stuff fast. Scott Cormos, this is the difference. Watch. Little guy, watch his left hand. Picks the front end up of the calf. Calf feels comfortable, falls easy. When he's got him strung right there, when that hand's getting in motion, 2 wraps in the hui, takes a victory lap, 7-2.
7-2. He slowed down to be fast. I've heard you say that 9 million times.
Jane Melby again.
How about this barrel racing?
Again, this barrel racing is so tough. It's like Angie Manners talked to us on stage last night. Wins a 14-0-0, not won something. And tonight, Jane Melby, she's already won 1 go-around. Got 2 kids, beautiful roping, riding kids. They were hollering for moms, 1378.
Posey and Serby got a barrel down.
Knocked them down.
Lindsay Sears and Martha, they're grinning from ear to ear. How about this here? J.W. Harris bucked off last night. He lost a little bit of ground for his 4th consecutive world title. You know, the rankest bull's out. This bull had an off day, but he sticks it on him when it means something. Anybody can make a 3-foot putt. Tiger Woods makes him to win the U.S. Open. J.W. Harris makes the whistle whenever only 3 guys or 4 guys make the whistle, but riding the rankest bulls at the rodeo this year. I'm telling you what, he's got a broke foot. This guy's got the best attitude of anybody I've ever seen.
Look, this is Lindsay tonight. I said, hey, how about doing our show Saturday night if, big if, you don't win the world? I hope I'm not available. And I text her back, looks like you might not be.
A great rodeo tonight. As you know, if you were watching, things didn't go that smoothly for everybody. Some really hard knocks and some great saves in the bull riding. And so, Donnie, I think let's get right to it. We have so many guests waiting back here this evening. So let's this bareback, let's start with that, Donnie.
Okay, Matt Bright. He's been coming down the hallway. When he bucks off, whenever he does... Do I need to say anything? I mean, just look at this. Okay, this is blowout. Oh, yeah. Kapow! Now watch this. Yeah, okay, my ass is aching. One more look at this. I mean, just in case you ever thought about being a bareback rider, nix that thought. Yeah, that's when it's not fun.
One look at this.
All right, saddle bronc riding, Sam Spreadborough. He's had all kinds of things go wrong. Stick that elbow in the ground, and I mean, it just drives the shoulder right up into your ear. There's no wax left. Okay, here we go. Bull riding, Shane Proctor.
That's Seth right there.
No, that's Seth Klaus. The that
going.
Frontier bull, he just steps right on. Seth Klaus goes down in the well. These are the rankest bulls in the business. J.W. Harris was 94 on that bull last year. Seth gets down and under, got what's a little birdie left on the hoe handle. Not a lot of fun for Seth. Shane Proctor, the guy in the lead for the World Championship. Feet hit him in the butt, turns back. You know, whenever they jump out, they jerk you loose, put you down like that, there's not a whole lot you can do. This guy rides as good as anybody. Did you see the left foot? Looked like he was fixing to get off his calf horse. I mean, it came all the way out. Nothing he could do. Now he's trying to protect himself. This guy right here, he is built. He's so ripped, he could be an MMA fighter. Unbelievable. Shane Proctor's. Now we watched the finish of J.W. Harris's ride. Won the go-round. He's going over to get his buckle. Got another 17 grand. But you know what? It ain't over till it's over. Tried to get off away from his hand, thought his hand had come out. Well, he thought wrong. Down and underneath him, Stabill bullfighters had to go back in there and make another save. The bullfighters have worked as good as anybody I've ever seen at an NFR. But look at this. Nothing the bullfighters could do. JW's under there. I mean, he's getting wooled around. This bull is pawing at him. It's a good thing his butt's so skinny because he's been stepped on really bad. Never touched him. But when he gets up, remember, he's got 2 bones broken in his foot. I've said for years, winning will cure anything. He's walking out just like this, yeah. And he's got crutches in the locker room. I love this rodeo tonight.
Donnie, you mentioned when we saw that flying dismount, so introduce your gentleman over here.
Anybody remember the name Hooter Brown, Bobby Brown, Adrian, Texas? You're in the house here tonight, so stand up and tip your hat right here.
Hooter! Yes!
One of the greatest saddle bronc riders and toughest cowboys in the PRCA for 15 years, and I'm proud to call him my friend. I'm glad he's at the show tonight.
Good to see you, Bobby. Yep, absolutely right. Let's get going.
You got
here.
some Hooter Brown stories too, don't you, Joe?
Oh,
I actually do.
My gosh.
Yeah, the first year I was in, I had the pleasure of going with Hooter, Hawkeye, and Roy Cooper for about a month. I thought it was 9 years. But did I have some fun? Woo!
Mike Bandy picked him up at Love Field. This was before DFW, and they used to have these really pretty street lights right out in front and everything. And he'd want to Livermore and come back, and Bando's picking him up. He just bought a 49 Plymouth, and, so they get out there, and Bobby Brown's, they're having a good time. This guy is from West Texas, and you don't know Wild until you hang out with him for a little bit. He just whoops out this 45. Now, the TSA, they weren't around. We hadn't invented them yet. He shot out all the street lights. Right? Oh, yeah. This guy was Western. My story, and I'll tell it like I want to.
Yeah. Never lets the truth get in the way of a good story, does he, huh? Quick question. We have a question that's come in here, and let's do this. And it said the rough stock events, the competitors can vote on which stock is used at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. It says, why don't the timed eventers get to do that?
They
Joe?
actually do. Okay. And for the team ropers this year, here's what they do. One stock contractor buys them, Stay Smith, he buys 100 head of calves. He says, come to Athens, Texas. Y'all rope them, y'all tie them, y'all cut them. Y'all cut me out 75 good ones to take out there. He bought 163 head last year because he couldn't find the good ones, and they're not cheap. In the steer wrestling, the bull loggers vote on which set of steers from each contractor. They bring what they want. In the team roping, same thing. There was guys that didn't even show up down there. Now, this is open for the top 15. If you're in the top 15 and they have a preparation day in Athens, Texas for calves or steers, you're welcome to come. Then you have a say. If you don't show up, shut up and don't gripe about the cattle. And we've been through this 4 or 5 years ago. There was 163 headed calves. There was me, Doug Farr, Fred Whitfield, Scott Cormos, and Ryan Jarrett. That's 5 out of 15. And then when you get to the rodeo, I take that back, Cody showed up. And you get to the rodeo here and they want to gripe about them, that's when 5 guys can whip 10. I promise you. But yes, they have a vote. The team roping steers were their own fault.
Appreciate the question. Thank you, Joe, for answering that. Let's get our first guest out here. We've been trying to get this guy out here all week, and he keeps winning and doing well in the steer wrestling, and one of our favorite guests to have here. He's a 2-time world champion. Luke Branquino is in the house.
All right.
How are you guys?
So good to see you.
All right, buddy.
Big Luke is here, and
Unfortunately.
no, we are so glad.
No, he wouldn't want to be here tonight. When he caught that steer, I said the same thing he was thinking. That's a go around. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't let him get away. But I thought it was a go-around win, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that steer was good. They'd been 3, 6, or 7 on him, and then Blake Knowles had a little trouble with him. But when I knew I got my feet on the ground that fast, I thought, slow down, make a good run, and win first or even second or third, even if he hangs up. But didn't work that way. I felt like I was, pardon my French, making love with him a little bit.
You were what?
I said that's why they call it wrestling.
You're big enough to do anything you want to.
Hey, at one time out there, he was wrestling to keep him down to get a flag.
Yeah, for sure. I had a little bad luck in the 9th round last year, my own fault, and I was trying not to do the same thing again this year in the 8th round.
Well, since we're talking about tonight's, I want to ask the guys in the back to get that one racked up first. I've got a couple of your great ones from earlier, but since you're talking about tonight, let's show that and see what happened on this one. You were glad to get this steer, though, right?
Yeah, I was. This was a good steer.
Tonight.
Well, it ain't happened yet. Here it comes.
There
Here
we
it
go.
comes.
Okay. I got a good start. I knew he was going to try to let off a little bit, and actually he didn't as much as I thought and got rolled and just tried to hustle through it. And when I hooked his nose, I thought surely he's going to go down, and he tried getting on his belly and then back on his feet, and I was just happy to get him wrestled over. At that point, I wasn't sure if he was flat yet. So
now I know what you mean.
Hey, it's safer to make sure you get the flag than not. What happened? Look, right here. Didn't he just fold up on you back there?
He folded up, but I think I got in a little bit big of a hurry, too much, trying to go too fast. I should have just slowed down.
We're kind of interested in what happened right here.
He started tickling my neck. Kind of got excited, but, I think I really did just get in too big of a hurry right there and rush it a little bit. And, all year long it's been slow and steady. I haven't won first a lot, and that's kind of how the finals has been, but unfortunately now it's going to be 2 one-headers.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something. That's what people don't understand about your bulldogging. That's what makes you so fast. When you catch one, you've already got him set from the stirrup. We've talked about this a lot every night, but you've already got his head set when you catch him from the stirrup. Okay? And then most of the time, when you shoot him off your hip and you get a hold of that nose and you follow through with them and you make them hit with that momentum, that's what gets you the fast flag.
That's, very true, and that's kind of what I felt like I was trying to do here. And to be honest with you, Joe talked about how we pick steers. This herd was at my house, and there were 6 or 7 of us running them. I ran this steer twice and busted him. So that's kind of
free.
Yeah,
for free.
Nothing, yeah. So I was real excited to have him, and unfortunately, it didn't work out tonight.
That steer must remember that what you did to him at home.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's take a look at some earlier action then, and let's go back to round number 2. Luke, I think you were 3 and 4 on this steer.
This steer, same herd that we had at the house, was number 39. I did not care for him. He was kind of phony leaving the chute, and I was real excited right there because he was the worst steer in the herd, I thought. And I knew I just had to hump up to make a good run, and I was
What
happy
have they
with
done
it.
on that steer since?
Jason
Nothing.
Miller was 4 flat, and
Yeah.
Seth Brockman, I think, was
No
4-4.
threes, though. They hadn't
No.
thrown him in 3. But I'm going to see the difference, people. You see how when Luke throws them, they almost go away from him? They're not on top of him like a lot of people. When they throw them, they lock up, they bring them around, they hook the nose, and they lay them down. The difference is Luke gets them set up so when he shoots them off his hip, they're actually carrying him down the arena. And that's where he's got to be careful about hanging on to him because, right here is just a normal catch. Steer throws his head up a little, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right, now watch this. See his momentum carry him down the arena? That's how the back legs don't hang in the dirt, and that's how the flag man gives you a fast flag. That is what he does. There's about 3 of y'all that I honestly will say that know how to do that day in and day out, but that's what lets you win on this steer.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's almost better if I have a steer that I don't like as much because it makes me hump up a little bit more. And unfortunately tonight I didn't do a very good job, but everything's been great. I can't complain. I have almost $90,000 won going
How
into
much?
the 9th go around. And
Hold
my
on,
I'm
kids,
going to tell you something. You were winning the average, right?
not anymore.
No, I said you were winning the
right,
average,
right.
but it knocked you down, what, to 3rd or 4th?
Third.
3rd, okay. We got 2 more steers left. And people, what you got to remember is, everybody's seen that poster of Marilyn Monroe standing over that deal with that dress blowed up? That 10th go-around will blow it higher than that. So it's not over yet.
No,
There's a
very
lot of
true.
these guys, when they come out of the arena, they can't find their exit gate because their dress is up here. So we're
I
not
gotta
through
get
yet.
that poster.
I knock on wood, I have won the last 2 go-arounds one time, and I'm hoping to make it 2 after
And that's
this
going to
year.
make a huge difference in the average. And then it's back to a race. That tonight, like I said, that was a rut row. That didn't hurt you as bad as people. Like Turtle missing one last night. Luke Branquino goes at everyone every night to win, and if he does, he wins the next 2 and moves up in the average, guess what? You're still ahead of him.
Yeah, for sure, and that's how I'm going to go at it. One more, tomorrow night, one the next night, and try to win as much as I can on them and let everything fall in place how it's supposed to.
You're a 2-time world champion now, Luke, since we've seen you last time, and also another addition to your family as you have come in here. So tell us about the new addition to your family first.
Yeah, I have 2 little boys, Cade's 3 and Jameson's 1.5, and I could fall off 10 nights in a row and it wouldn't matter. I love those boys and they love me, and that's what it's all about.
Because, when you come here, especially being the world champion now.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and applaud that. Yeah. And that's why we especially appreciate you coming out here this evening, because I know you got diapers to change and other things to do when you go on.
I've been very fortunate. My wife's took care of everything this week. I get to play with the boys, and they take them out when I need a nap and change diapers and do everything. And I'm very fortunate for my family, the support they give me.
I saw you walking the older one down to the rim. They were going to run those stairs last night, and you were taking him down there to the back end. That's got to be pretty special.
Oh, definitely. He loves going down there. And the funny thing is, you walk in, the top 15 Bulldoggers are all standing up, and he could go Jake, Jason, Todd, Billy. Yeah, he names them. I mean, like they're his friends. In fact, we were up at the bar right after the Bulldog, and he's like, Daddy, I'm going to go with my friends. And I mean, it was Big Jake, Casey Martin, Stockton Graves. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
I envy that. I was at the 59 National Finals, and I was 6 years old, and I got up and left the box where my daddy told me to stay. I was up there in the spotlight booth. I got a whipping that night.
Yeah, but you were in the spotlight booth. That ain't hanging with your friends.
That's like him going behind the buck and shoots.
Because you didn't start going to bars till you were like 7, right?
Well, no.
Yeah, it's a whole different deal.
I was following Bobby.
It's getting worse, Bobby, as it goes along here this evening. There's something about you and this rodeo and coming into this place, Luke. And can you put it into words, because it doesn't seem like the nerves get to you here. You excel at the finals.
I'm just happy to be here. I mean, like a lot of guys, but I'm going to say horsepower probably has a lot to do with it. I've been on some of the best horses in the world. Gunner, I've ridden 5 times here and won. I don't even know how much. Willie.
We talk about that. That's not only horsepower. That's sense enough to get on the good horses. He owns a good bulldogging horse. Jason Miller owns a nice bulldogging horse. But the guys that get here and let their pride cost them, Luke, they would ride their own maybe when they could win more on the others, and that's what you haven't done.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't pick my horse because I know he's good. I pick the best horse for the building. And like I said, Willie, Gunner, Jackpot, won Horse of the Year. I've been on a lot of great horses, and I think that's one reason. When you back in there knowing you're on a great horse, it makes your job so much easier. You just go focus on bulldogging. If you got to sit there and hope your horse is going to leave when you want him to, and whether or not you're going to miss the barrier, break the barrier, that's just more in your mind that you can't focus on when you need a bulldog.
It's working for you, and you've got a 3rd world title in your sights, and young family and a young man. And go ahead, Joe.
Okay, and I want to bring up one more thing. One of the reasons that I picked diabetes and as a new cause is because a lot of people don't know what some of our guys deal with. This guy right here is my friend and has been since he cracked out. This guy's a diabetic. This guy, you still got the pump?
Still got it.
Got a pump. Goes in bulldogs, takes care of himself, checks all that, makes sure his blood and everything is good. You know what? There's little kids out there that need to know that Luke Branquino is a world champion.
2 times.
Travels the road 300 days a year and is a diabetic. It's okay.
That's the truth, and I have came across so many people that say, oh, you're a diabetic, we didn't know, and how do you do it? And, it's simple. You have to take care of it before it, don't let it get you down. Take care of it, live your life normal, and you can do whatever you want to do. And that's not just diabetes, that's anything, That's right. And you can't look at being a negative. Look at it as a positive, that you got something that you have to take care of and to do your best, and that's how I look at bulldogging also.
Half full, never half empty.
Exactly.
This is a good man. Luke Branquino, would you pay him
guys.
off? Thank you for being here. There's your hand.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Luke Branquino. Thank you, Luke.
That's a lot of fun.
Donnie has some special guests here in front, too, that you'd like to recognize, Donnie, and if you'll do that, please do.
I would. I graduated high school in 1972, and I walked across the stage in Dallas, Texas on a Saturday night, got my diploma, handed it to my mom, gave her a big old kiss, and me and 5 other guys loaded up in Phil Lyons' station wagon. We were going to take it to him in Fort Smith, Arkansas. So we did via DuQuoin, Illinois, little old county fair. My first rodeo out of high school, I got there and I was pretty successful in the bronc riding and the bull riding. But one of the guys that helped me more than anything the first year that I won the world championship was the 1974 world champion saddle bronc rider. If y'all would make welcome John Macbeth, his wife with him right here. Just a really good friend of mine. But you know what? This is all rodeo right here. And you know, thanks for coming to my show.
Very good. It's good to have you here. Donnie, you've got some other guests over here. We got a lot of people. Russ is sitting over there this evening.
I've got anybody watch the NFL football? Any 49er fans in here? Okay, how about New England Patriots? #1 draft pick in 1975, my buddy. Stand up, all the way up. Russ Francis, y'all make him welcome. He's a rodeo fan, great guy, got the Super Bowl ring, my buddy.
Good to have you here this evening, Russ. We also have a gentleman backstage that kind of snuck in here on us that we'd like to come out and talk to for just a couple of seconds here. He loves rodeo. He's on one of the hottest shows on television, Grey's Anatomy, and he's always good enough to stop by and see us. James Pickens Jr. is with us tonight. Come on out here.
All right, James.
Hey, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Have a seat and join us. It's always great to see you.
Thank you, sir.
You know what? This gentleman, we're talking about big hearts and people that do things for charity. He loves the team rope like a lot of us do, but he is putting it to good use.
Yeah,
and let's talk about the event that you do.
Oh,
James.
well, thank you for asking. Yeah, about 4 years ago, my wife and I, we've been supporting some charities, and we've just kind of been writing checks and say, here. I thought I, want to do a little something more, and to who much is given, much is required. And because I've had such a great fondness for team roping, we decided, let's try and marry the two. And I was fortunate enough to make great contacts like yourselves, and I called in some favors. And 2 years ago, we started the James Pickens Jr. Charity Foundation Open Roping, and it went far beyond our expectations. We started out a year before last with about 37 teams. Nick Sartain and Russell Cardoso won our first roping. And then last year we had about 47 teams. And Turtle Powell and Jet Johnson won. And we hold it at Lebec, California at the Tejon Ranch, which is, if any of you know, it's beautiful. It's 270 acres. It's the largest working ranch in California. And they were kind enough to lend their services, their arena, and we had a great time. We catered it. We didn't tack on the cattle charge. We added $5,000, and the ropers the response was just overwhelming. I mean, this really humbled my wife and myself on the participation and the enthusiasm the guys brought to it. So we're going to do it next year. I think around April 23rd. We stick it in between Clovis and Lakeside, and give the guys a chance to make a little extra money. We try and make it as roper friendly as possible. We cater it, give away trophy saddles. Coach Saddlery has been great, and Montana Silversmith, Steve Miller, and everybody's jumped aboard. Cactus, Mike Paulin, and the folks at Pro Equine, Bob Travis. So everybody just really say, hey, what do you want us to do? And it's hard to put into words the response we've had. It's been great.
It's been very successful. That Tejon Ranch is absolutely
beautiful,
drop-dead gorgeous place there. Joe, this is something you've participated in and helped out with?
Well, he called me the first year and said, "What do we, how we do it to make it good?"
Yeah.
And I told him, "You might not get but 20 or 30 teams,
That's
but
right.
at the open roping is the guys you want because they'll bring the crowd." And they'll help out. They don't mind doing stuff for kids.
Exactly.
They don't mind giving some back what they win. Guys in the open roping know what it takes to make a living, and they know what it takes to have a good roping, and they appreciate it. And that's the difference. Pick and I were talking about what's the best way about doing it, and he's up 10 teams, 10 teams, 10 teams. It's just going to get bigger and better. But you also know when you go someplace and there's somebody with the credibility and the care that Pick has when he does something, you know, that makes you want to go.
Yeah, it's been great.
And I've seen stories on it, and you and your wife's passion for it is just, it's remarkable. So how many years now on Grey's Anatomy?
We're in the middle of season 8, and who'da thunk it, as they say, but it's been the best gig I've had, and I've been doing this 35 years, and you know, sometimes actors have this and never experienced anything like this in their whole career. It's been a great ride. Yeah.
You know, there's some in my family, they never miss that show, and y'all have done a really good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We got him to start about 5 years ago, first when you was coming out?
Yeah.
About 5 years ago,
Yeah.
I guess, it started coming out. We got a mutual friend down there in South Texas.
Old Rusty,
Just shout out to old Rusty if he
Old
has
Rusty,
to be around.
yeah,
But
shout
anyway,
out to him.
Rusty tells me one day, he called me on the phone, Toby, you got to take care of Pick. Pick's coming out. Pick's coming out. Like I knew who the hell Pick was, you know? I'm like, who's Pick? He's, man,
Right.
Jim Pickens, Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, well, all right. So, and we went and had dinner and had a great visit and everything. And ever since he's been coming to the rodeo. Well, tonight, I'm down there in my little cubby hole, you know, calling it like I see it. And I'm glancing around, I'm, you know, texting, looking around, messing around, during that. Look, and there's Pick over there. Him and his boys, I text them all up, you know. They don't know where I'm at the time. When I hit them with that text, boy, they all go looking around, you know. That's the little fun part of that job people don't see.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I'm looking, I said, oh my God, we checked it out. It was a lot of fun. But you were so gracious that first time we met and had dinner and, you know, with your family and stuff, and I'll never forget it. We had a great time.
It's a yearly deal now, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, people, you don't know till you have a chance to meet somebody that's, I mean, he's in a famous position, he's got followers, it's a show, it's hectic. When the writers were on strike, we talked a lot, you know,
That's right,
I'd
yeah.
call and check on him, you know, what are y'all doing? But it's nice to know a genuine person in a makeshift world, because that's all make fun of money out there in Hollywood, but this is a real guy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's a part of Grey's Anatomy's family.
Yeah.
We're honored to have him here,
Thank you.
part of our
All right.
family.
Thank you so
Jim
much.
Pickens,
All right.
thank you so much.
buddy. Oh, you know it, man. Yeah, absolutely. What are you telling?
Thank you so much, Jim. It's good to see you. You bet. Very good to see you. Yeah.
We rub shoulders with all the big stars and stuff.
We hang with the right kind of people to pull on.
You just never know who is going to stop by. And you know what? Quickly, I want to do this too, because I think we have some of our guys. I mentioned last night I'm blessed to do another television show on the Outdoor Channel called The Best of the West, and I think some of our guys. Are you here tonight, guys? Wave at me and holler at me.
Yep, there they are. Right
They're
right
at
there.
the bar.
They're at the
They're
bar.
at the bar.
Hey,
That's-
he'll drive you to drink, won't he, guys?
There
huh?
you guys are, right back there. And I
Those are the
appreciate
guys,
that.
the long-range shooting. They
The
don't mind.
long-
They can stay at the back. Don't
They-
be pointing at us.
Yeah, they can spit this far. That's nothing for those guys. These are good guys. I appreciate you coming out tonight, guys. Well, let's get to our next guest here. And this young man also, we have been trying to get him out here. And we talked last night about the future of rodeo and how bright it is, and the young people that we had on last night and tonight.
We've had a week full of them on both ends of the arena, hadn't we? Of young kids that can take rodeo somewhere.
I got to tell you, some of y'all in here know our, professional rodeo announcer, Mike Mathis. He has a real distinctive voice. Well,
got a Crown Royal voice.
I found somebody in the locker room that sounds exactly like him. I'm sitting in there, and Jacob O'Mara was on the show last night, one of our bull riding rookies, and he did his Mike Mathis impression. And I mean, I looked around, unbelievable. These guys are having so much fun in the bull ride, it's not even funny.
This young man, we're honored to have him here. Would you welcome Tuff Cooper is in the house tonight. Tuff.
He cleaned his hat up, got the powder off of it.
Tuff Cooper is here.
I like the shirt, relentless.
I like it. It's so good to see you. This young man is already at his 4th Wrangler National Finals rodeo, correct?
Yes, sir.
How's it feel coming in this time, now that you've broken 20 years of age and back now, not a teenager anymore?
It's a lot of fun. They don't tell me to leave the casino whenever I'm down there after
They'll
hours.
cash your checks now, huh?
We talked about that with Chandler Bounds and Jacob O'Mara last night, having a great time, but they can't go into the casino. So it's good to have you here. Both brothers, all 3 of them together here, which is just remarkable to think about.
For the second time.
For the
in a row.
second time,
Yeah, in a
yes.
row. But it's a little different this time with Tuff coming, because this time he's got a chance for the gold buckle. a good chance. Not just a chance, a good chance. And that makes the finals a whole different deal, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. It sure does. Coming down to 2 rounds, it's what you dream for.
Well, it's what I've seen him work for since he was 11 years old. I mean, this is a kid that if you pulled through there at 3 o'clock in the morning and you went in the house, he might be asleep, but it'd be in front of an NFR tape. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I've been up there in that loft in that house many times to look at him or find him or see what he's doing, and he'll have NFR tapes just running over and over. And if he woke up, he'd come down, you want a tie? You want a rope? And it's 3 o'clock in the morning. No. Are you sure? No. But let me tell you, that where he's at in his career doesn't come without dedication and work, and this boy and his brothers have put it all in there.
What I want to tell people, and Joe just alluded to, you came in number 1 position this year, Tuff. Talk about that. Is it a different feel, a different approach for you coming in leading?
The game plan for the finals, it's been the same. Try to win as much money as you can every round and try to win all the money on the last day. I two-looped one this year for the first time, so the game plan kind of changed up a little bit. So we're trying to go a little bit faster these last 3 rounds, but try to get money as well.
You know, with that game plan, Dan, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I mean, I know I've heard Roy, talk about it many times, and he's probably the most nervous person in Thomas and Mack every time, 3 times a night, every single night.
Watching these boys go, and let's take a look at Tuff in action here. Let's go back to round number 5. This was a 7-7 run, and Tuff, you and Joe can talk about this.
Well, let me tell you the difference here. The difference in Tuff this year, or the last year, all year, winning so much money everywhere, is 2 things. He uses his rope good, and he's got to where he flanks so strong and so good. He's in the front when he ropes him. The go doesn't matter to him. This is what matters. See the front end come up and never hit the ground? That's the difference in flanking and tying and winning. Now, that's what we talked about after round 3 or 2, how to cross the legs. The other night he threw him up there. It was going to be 6. We haven't had a 6-second run yet. If he flanks his calf and ties him last night or night before last? Last night.
Yes,
like he does in this picture right here, he's 6'7", and he wins a go-around last night, comes back, wins second, third tonight. But we had a little speed deal, going fast, throwing the legs, but that's all I've been trying to remind him every night is remember, you rope the neck first and then you tie good. Tell him where you're at right here.
Oh, just trying to get down there, get the calf up, and stay down and try to tie him smooth and fast. But it kind of bobbled my hooey right there, hung it, and you're supposed to be head down, hands up, but didn't really.
But look right here. See, that's the difference. Scott Cormos, same thing. Half the size of us, but he flanks the same way. But look at the cross. 1, 2, he hangs it for just a tick. It doesn't take long. But when you tie like that, you're going to win. Last night, through the legs, we talked about it tonight, then comes back tonight, makes a great run. And here Dan's the difference. You know, when I told him tonight when he come down there to shoot, I said, okay, here's where you make your move. Here's where you establish that you're not gone, that you didn't worry about that 2-looper last night. I said, you got to tie this calf in 7-3 or under tonight to show him you're out. And he was 7-3.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
take a look at tonight's run while you guys are talking about it, Tuff.
Yes, sir. Had a great calf tonight. I got him roped pretty good, and my hand come off the rope whenever I was trying to flank him because my second string got in my way a little bit. Did you see that tonight?
Yeah, you can watch it in slow mo. Watch here. All right, right there. See how he's got his second string in his hand, his rope? It comes completely off. Now, lesser guy and Tuff Cooper 3 years ago, when he was still pretty small, that calf gets away from you because you've only got him by the flank.
Yes,
your
sir.
left hand's not holding anything. Watch you see it? But being that he's got a couple years on him, he's gotten bigger, stronger. He just holds that calf by his flank till he can get his left hand back on the rope and still ties him in 7-3. The difference of those kind of deals right there are what experience, strength, and 1,000 runs make a difference. Now, watch right here. Here's the difference. Watch him hold his slack. See him get in both hands and pull on it right there? That calf falls down, he doesn't win anything tonight.
Right.
He doesn't win anything tonight. Cody Old, Matt Chazal would do, by chance. Then you've got 3 nights in a row that you're like, ooh. But no, second, third tonight.
Yes, sir.
7-3, we turned it around.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to, because Joe, I love having Joe here, Tuff, when you guys are here. And tell us what Joe's influence to you has been? Everybody knows your dad's the 8-time world champion, but what difference does Joe make in your life?
Oh, a big difference. You know, it's hard to try to do the things exactly like Joe did, but you try to do the great things that he did. You know, growing up watching him on tapes, and you know, I always liked his big rope. Man, it was sweet. He could throw it so far, and he was so sharp with it. There's not very many guys that handle a rope really good, and Joe's one of them. He's one of the greatest, and I always wanted to handle a rope just like him. But each night before the rodeo, during the saddle bronc riding, I walk down there. He's sitting right beside the calf roping box, and I kind of just go in there and get a feel for the arena, and he gives me a few quick little pointers and
reminders. They're not pointers, just reminders.
Tuff.
That's all it is.
Yes, sir.
Joe always wanted to be slim and trim like you too, buddy.
Hell, hey, Joe had to handle the long rope because I wasn't going to get to him very fast, so I roped him fast. I like to got him in so much trouble one time. How old were you at Childress that time?
Oh, boy, I was
10 or 11?
little. Oh, it was more than that one time because once you was only there.
Every time I'd go through Childress, I'd stop to see Roy and the boys, you know, we'd pull in and rest. Well, Tuff, me and him would slip off and go rope because Tuff always wanted to reach. He wanted a big loop, and he wanted to reach. And Roy, he wanted a little loop, wanted to run close. So when Roy wasn't around, if he wasn't paying attention, me and Tuff, we'd slip out there and pin the calves, and I'd help him, and I'd draw a line. I'd say, okay, right here, you got to throw by here. And boy, Roy would come to the arena, God, you got to leave, get out of here and leave him alone. You know what I mean? But now, to be honest with you, there's only 5 or 6 guys in this top 15 field that can rope the calves in the same spot every night. And y'all know them, y'all see them. And if you look at the W's and the L's, they're most of the guys with the W's. And Tuff's got to be one of them. He can handle his rope. He can reach out and rope them. When he missed that calf last night, wasn't a worry in my world. It wasn't a worry at all that I knew in his world, his wheels were turning about turning him in, reaching and roping him. And if you can't reach here, you got no choice to back in but to hope you catch, do you?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
What I want to do is have Tuff stay right here, and we have 2 other gentlemen that I said gentlemen, didn't I? That we'd like to have come out and join us because I want their insight into having Tuff out here with us. These guys make the National Finals Rodeo more exciting for me, and that's a lot to say. Boyd Polhamus and Bob Tallman are both in the house tonight. Would you welcome these gentlemen? Hello, Robert.
Hello, Daniel.
We've got some more chairs coming out over there. Hi, Boyd. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Don't act so surprised.
Put the 2 young handsome ones side by side.
Donnie
ain't
wanted
you.
to go sit down.
That ain't you either. He wasn't
I
talking
didn't hear
about
what he said. I don't want to. I'm like that Orbitz commercial. I don't want to know.
You're like Schultz. I know nothing. I got a question when I was watching the replays back there. Can we watch one more replay? Either any of Tuff's.
That's a good question.
Number one, what I like about him is he holds his calves' legs real low, and they're a lot less likely to kick if you hold them low, okay? But when you watch some of your students, like Hainchy and Cormos, they're not going to let their right knee touch the ground when they're tying one. But when Tuff or Clint or the longer-legged boys tie one, so
Look at their arms.
which way's right, which way's wrong? That's what I want.
Look at their arms.
It's a new deal.
It's a new deal?
It's a new-
Either one of them.
it's a
Show
new
either
line.
one of them. We just want to see his.
The one in the pink shirt, you'll see his knee was off the ground, and that's because that calf was a little stronger, had a little more push. Nowadays, they get a chance to tie it. Now watch, he's going to stay off his knee because this calf is a little bit more substance to him and a little stronger. But nowadays, they've made the roping a better spectator event, a faster event, and they tie the calves more. And boy, that's the only reason you can get away with tying on your knee more. But look, see this calf right here? See him kind of just have to push him? He's off his knee. Now tonight, when he runs that noodle,
Right.
he feels those legs going to just give. He's going to drop down on that knee and put the squeeze on him with the right side and wrap Mahui, and he's done.
See, because I was always taught that you didn't.
Knee off the ground. Yep.
Right,
Yep.
right. And then I watch you, and you hold your legs real low, which I think is a secret that a lot of the ropers ought to
But
pick
see his
up.
knees off the ground right there. That's a calf that's a little strong. And then when he runs that calf tonight, he drops down on that knee and throws a wrap Mahui on him, and he's done because that calf feels, when you flank them and they feel that good, then you don't have to worry about it. 10 years ago, you couldn't do that.
Okay.
Let's show the other one, guys, from tonight as well. And Tuff, feel free to comment as these guys are talking about.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, being off your knee is.
And if he says
incorrect.
anything wrong, be sure and point it out, would
There
you?
you go, Joe.
Okay, look, here's
Haven't
tonight.
caught him yet.
Here's tonight. This calf, when he turns him around and posts up, what we call just stands there, right about here when he flanks him, watch his back legs. They just hit and they never move. That's when you drop down on that knee, scoot him behind him, and put her out behind him. Now, the only place that will hurt you is when your horse pulls too much or moves the calf.
Yes,
Then you
sir.
get spread out and you lose the cross on the leg. So you got to have your horse to where he just holds enough tension that he doesn't move him. Now watch. Right here he's on his knee. All right, if that calf gets slid forward, you can't move with him, and that's the old deal about on the knee, off the knee. But nowadays there's so many good calves, they do that.
I just want to make one little point real quick. Did the math before he came down here because you told me you had him. You pay out the average tonight, as he would say. It's they don't pay it on 8. $65 between him and Cody Old. He wins the world. $65 on 100.
You think it ain't a two-header?
Yeah, it's a two-header.
They've run 100 and something head this year, and it always comes down to 2 or 1. 2 or 1.
My deal is, though, you tied 2 calves here last year in 6'9" to win 2 go-arounds, and I know you're going to win a round.
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow or Saturday?
I'd prefer tomorrow so I can go get that buckle.
Okay, all right. Good answer. I like it.
Bob had a, go ahead, Bob.
Those 3 questions. Did y'all just hear what he said to Boyd? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When Donnie was that age, he said, "Get out of my face."
Right.
Hey, that's why his daddy whooped him when he was little, because he's always been like that.
All right. And hey, of everybody on this stage, I'm as close to your age as, so you don't even lay the sir on these other 4 guys. I'm your brother.
Yeah, but you an old brother compared to him.
Go ahead, Bob. You had a question.
I think I lost track of where I was going.
Tell us about the monkey. No,
I killed a monkey last night.
Just not the monkey, Doc. Golly, no.
You only kill a monkey one time a year.
What I want you guys to talk about, Bob, before you guys got out here, we talked about the young guys that were here last night in the bull riding, and then Corey was here, Solomon as well. So since you watched his dad come along, it's exciting not only to see the 3 brothers, but to...
Just before you address that, he didn't not only watch his dad come along, he went along.
Hey, and it was a lot of fun.
You know, the lights were always on, but sometimes we weren't home.
How do you follow that? I'm going to tell you something about the difference these kids today and the difference of guys my age and Joe and Donnie's and some other things. You know what's different today? Their parents are different. Think about that for a minute. They have different parents. John Macbeth, Francie, I see you nodding. Look over here, Russ. Your football players are different today, aren't they? They got different parents than you and I had. Now, where does that go? Okay? And your father, and bless your mama. And my dad and Boyd's dad are twins. Okay? Your dad of a different generation. I don't want to get real too quiet in here. I want you to think about this, though. These kids today, the ones that survive, okay? He's one of 10,000. There were 10,000 kids when I watched him in junior rodeos. He survived and got past it. And you know what he heard? My dad would have slapped me if I was late to work. His dad would slap him if he was late to the practice pen. Okay? It made a difference. And you remember how many thousands of calves turned out that Walter did? And you think about what Neil Gay did for you. When you're 15 years old, you're off in Minnesota.
Well, they taught us accountability.
Yes. Okay? So we have a different mindset about being who we are than he does. They're so much smarter. They're so much better. And the high-tech world today is so much bigger. Because I talk to him and Shane and Corey Solomon or text with these guys 3 o'clock in the morning in a hotel someplace, and I'll get a text and they'll go, "We're watching a video from 1967 and you said that Joe did this, or 1978 and somebody did that. How come that was that?" And they'll, in the middle of the night, they're on YouTube, they've got iPads, they got everything else, and they're watching thousands of runs in the calf roping. They didn't have those toys when you were in high school riding bucking horses and roping.
And you're right, but there comes an age of accountability. So I want to tell you a story that you don't know about Tuff Cooper, okay? But it will define him as a human being, okay? You see him pull in, and you see this big cinch motorhome that's got his picture and everything on the side of it. Now, why would, not just because of his ability, why would they go ahead and invest that kind of money in him? And I'm going to tell you a true story. He's traveling with some guys whose names shall remain nameless, but they're involved in some stuff that Tuff doesn't want to make a part of his life. They're on their way to a rodeo. And Tuff says to him, you're going to keep doing that, I'm going to get out. They said, well, we're going to keep doing it. So they pull off on the side of the road, and Tuff gets out and loads his horse and texts Trevor Brazil, says, you need to stop, come get me, because I'm getting out of this rig. And so he gets into the rig with Trevor, who's made right, same way here, okay? Made right, got the right moral code. Look, you can be raised right, but there comes a point in time where you have to act on your raising, okay? And this kid acted on his raising, decided that he was not going to be affiliated with that behavior, okay? So when, to my good friends at Cinch, when they got word of the fact that he was now rigless because he got out of the rig he was in, they said, you know what? Good decisions need to be rewarded. So they turned around and put him in the rig that he travels in now.
Well said.
Go ahead, Rob.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, that's a great, great story.
He and I like those kind of stories. We don't have time to tell them at the rodeo, but we try to slide it in bits and pieces. I want to ask Joe a question about Scotty Cormos and the story you told me a long time ago. When Scott Cormos, how old was he?
He was 10.
10 years old. What'd he stand, 4 foot? Maybe not 4 foot tall?
Yeah, I promise y'all, until he was a sophomore in high school, he didn't weigh, generally he couldn't have weighed 80 pounds, could he, when he came to my school? I tell you what you could do, I could pick him up underneath both arms and walk around with him and put him where I wanted him. And he was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah. Okay, that's Scotty Cormos. Been here, what, 7, 8 times, 9 times? He goes to Joe's school, and you've got to be, as a teacher, and Joe is vibrant at watching, quietly but vibrant. And he's not, and some Jen will tell you that there's times he's just intense in what he watches. Did your water break?
No, everything's good. We're listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know I was pregnant. Donnie was. Anyway.
I may never get over that one.
Jenna can tell you better about Joe because she's watched him at more schools and doing it all. But he went
I just
to the
started
school.
laughing just a while ago whenever Joe was talking about being able to carry him around and just put him where he wanted to. You know, I bet Walter Beaver was straining really hard to put Joe.
Walter Beaver wouldn't pick your ass up if it was on fire. He'd tell you to drag in the dirt and move it your damn self.
So they had some calves that they weren't that big, but they were 3 times as big as Scotty Cormos. And he said, well, you know, how are you going to teach this kid how to flank? He says, he looked down that rope and that calf was going to eat him alive. What'd you do to him?
Well, he looked up at me. He was about 13 at this time. His second time I think he came. He was about 13. And he said, yeah, it's easy for y'all. Y'all are taller. They hit me right here. And he was right, you know. So I thought about it a little bit, and I said, okay, you got a point. So I got down on my knees and went down the rope on my knees, and I was about as tall as him. He was a little bit taller than me on my knees. And I learned to flank him on my knees so I could teach him to use his upper body strength. And he still flanks like that today. And he's a proven fact that it's not about how big you are, it's how big is inside of you.
Great.
Little teaching technique. Teaching.
One other thing on the race, don't you and Cody be messing up because you got an older brother named Clint still in that hunt too.
The other race before we're out of time, I want to ask you, Boyd, the barrel racing tonight.
It's Lindsey Sears's now. I mean, it's Lindsey's by about 30 grand if you paid it out tonight. So
why do you keep doing that to me? Sucker, it ain't over tonight.
I know it's not over tonight. And
What difference does that make?
Joe Beaver's
if
a
you
prop.
win 8, 9, and 10, to hell with what happened tonight.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you something, brother. What happened tonight's going to affect what happens in 9 and 10.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yes, sir, because you
No.
ready? Watch this. Listen to me. Sherry Servey went around those first 2 barrels. She wasn't within 3 feet of them. She was playing it safe. And then went around the 3rd one and kicked it over. Look at Joe Beaver said it best on this stage 2 years ago. Strange things happen in 10th rounds and short rounds, okay?
I'm just talking about first. You don't think about all that crap.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something about first. You want to win first, it's a marathon, not a sprint there, Chubby. The bottom line is...
Hey, listen, you can beat this Chubby if you ain't got to run very damn far.
And remember, everybody's the same height laying down, Chubby.
Yeah, you two bellies especially.
Yeah,
you
so
let
the air out when you lay down tonight.
You're right. He's right. I hate to say this. It pains me greatly. It'll be on the World Wide Web. Donnie Gay is right. Okay?
Ow!
Look, he says it in a real squeaky voice, but he's still right. Okay?
He's full of water again.
There's a lot that could happen just as clearly as what happened to Luke Branquino, who let Jason Miller go from third to first in the average, and now Jason's in the catbird seat for the average, okay? Clint Cooper, okay? Things happen, all right? So there's 2 rounds left. But you know what? In a marathon called the PRCA season, that starts in everything from a little bitty building in places like Odessa, Rapid City, and Denver and Fort Worth, and then gets to big outdoor arenas like Reno, Cheyenne, and everywhere else, down to this fast little pen right here. Anything can and will happen. I'm not trying to tell you what's happening in round 8 is what's going to happen by the end of round 10. What I am telling you is strategy has changed for a lot of people by virtue of what happened tonight. Tomorrow night, Lindsey Sears will be the one ducking barrels. And
Why didn't you say that earlier?
Well, because it was a simpler way if you had the cognitive ability to go ahead and if you had the cerebral talent to go ahead and digest what I was saying in one sentence, I wouldn't have had to take the next 3 minutes to explain everything to a broke-down bull rider.
Don't listen. That was genius.
You know what? But he said I was right.
Hold it.
It took 8 days.
Russ, come here.
Tuff, cover your ears. You don't need to hear what's coming, okay?
All right. Now, listen, don't use words that he can't spell, all right?
Thank you, Bob. I thought you'd never speak up.
Listen, if you'd have known, if those 2 girls, Brittany and Sherry, would have knocked a barrel down in the 5th or 6th round, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Hey, wait a minute. If I could spell that damn good, I wouldn't have won but 6.
It's cerebral. It's a mass of gray crap between your ears right behind your eyes.
Oh.
I don't have it either. He's the genius.
Well, the good thing is we have to have both the last rounds, and we're out of time for tonight. I want you to thank Tuff Cooper for being here with us here this evening. And thank all of these guys for being with us. Tuff, you can stay right here if you want, whatever you want to do. We're going to give away some prizes here this evening.
All right.
Don't you love this show? Don't you love these guys coming out here? There's nothing like it. Let me tell you, we've got a lot of prizes to give away. And here's the ground rules very quickly. You must be present to win. Only 1 prize per person. We have a lot of things to give away, and we go quickly. So if we call your name, please acknowledge that and come forward. We're going to start off tonight with a couple of gift certificates to the Boot Barn. Donnie, let's get at it. Who do you have?
All right. Leslie Robertson, Okotoks, Alberta.
She is
I've
right
been there. I have been to Okotoks. Right outside of Calgary. Okay, come on down. Boot Barn right down Las Vegas Boulevard.
Another one, Joe.
Heck of a deal.
Janice Koshin, Hallettsville, Texas.
Here. All right, we've got a Wrangler gift card, and this is going to go out to Mike Gonzalez from Highland, California. Are you here? Going once?
Oh, here he comes. I see a hand back
Another
there.
Wrangler gift card, Donnie.
All right, I can have a Wrangler gift card. Marvin Williams, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right,
down
Marvin.
Front. Right down front.
All right, I got a
Gold in blue.
Justin gift
we're working.
certificate.
Thank you.
Bob Redpath. Bob Redpath, Alberta.
Hey, Joe, where can they get those T-shirts if they want to make?
They're pointing back there.
You can buy these at the gift shop in the Gold Coast right here, or there's also at the Boyd Gaming booth at the Convention Center. And remember, all the proceeds go to diabetes research and funding.
Okay, Donnie, this is for another Justin Boot certificate. Your gentleman's coming right there, Joe.
Now, you can only win 1 prize. Mike Gonzalez, Highland, California.
He already won one.
He's already won. I actually
Surely you
remembered
remembered
something.
that, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay, Paul Clark, Medora, California. All right, Paul.
Right up front here. We have a couple of great certificates here for J.W. Brooks Custom Hats. Joe, gift certificates. We have one here
Got
this
one
evening.
more. Mary Lou Gines.
Is Mary Lou here? Right there she is, Donnie. This is for this great book, Heroes of the Stage, and this CD package. Let me hold that up while you go ahead and...
All right, another Californian, Barbara Sanders, Apple Valley, California.
Are you here?
Barbara?
Here she comes.
I see two hands
Here she comes
up.
back here.
All right.
Here. She's coming right there. If we'll hand that to her, I'll hold these
All right.
earrings up over here. A couple of Montana Silversmith beautiful earrings here. Joe, who's that going to?
Gloria Thompson. Oh, in the front.
Right down front. Outstanding.
See what happens in blue, you do good, huh?
One of the best prizes here. Hold that up, Dan.
One of our Boyd Gaming vests, and these are outstanding. Donnie, who's it going to tonight? Who's it going to?
There's that celebrity going on in.
Dixie Reeling. Lander, Wyoming. Dixie, come on down. All right.
We hardly need warm clothes in Wyoming, do we? But here you go. This is for you.
In Lander, Wyoming? Are you kidding me? All right, I'm going to pluck one out for the best piece of luggage in Las Vegas, Boyd Gaming bag, roller wheels and all.
Who is it, Donnie?
All right, Pete Birdsall, Bradford, Ontario. Pete, you here? I see him standing up right there.
Right there he comes.
All right.
Take a look at this guitar that Boyd's got over here, right there with Gary LeFew. How you doing tonight, Gary? It's good to see you. Good to see you.
All right.
Very good to see you.
1970 world champion bull rider and the Buck and Ball, best entertainment, dancing right upstairs when we finish here. Y'all give a round of applause for our world champion, Marilyn Yazzie Bates. You get the guitar.
Marilyn, are you here?
Las Vegas, Marilyn. Joe. Oh, yeah, here you go.
Oh, my gosh, this guitar.
Are you
That's a
happy
great
about
guitar.
this? All right.
There's a fancy case for you right there. We hope you all are able to go up
I
to the Buck
designed
and
that
Ball
case.
up there. I want to tell you, Donnie and Joe will be right down here signing pictures for you. If you'd like to have an autographed picture or get a picture taken with them, they'll be available for that. We thank you. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you got? All right, we have another gift here.
We got one more gift, and the Native American women in ag.
Youth in ag have. Let me hold that up to the camera here.
I got
Joe.
one.
We'll do that. Gosh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
Vicky and Marty Hebb run that, and I tell you, silver engraved. Draw one out, Joe. And the winner is
Monita Atkin. What is it?
I already took my glasses off. Don't hand that to
Atkinson.
me.
She's right here in front. We like it. Donnie didn't even have to get his glasses out. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much for that.
We certainly appreciate y'all being here. We hope y'all had a great time.
Thanks for coming to National Finals tonight. 2 more nights, we'll be here.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals tonight at the Gold Coast, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Boyd Gaming. The fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head upstairs for Gary LeFew's legendary Buck and Ball. Live music with members of George Strait's Ace in the Hole Band. Dancing, beer and drink specials, a mechanical bull, and best of all, no cover charge. We're gonna party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.